He
broken
had doubts,
promise.
Keisha.
It don't matter why he promising you, I'm gonna come back and get him. I'm gonna come back and get you, Daddy love you. I'm gonna come back and get you.
He wanted Raya. He did.
Well, why he lying for though?
I just made a move to Arizona to start a new life that I have.
Okay.
With your other girlfriend.
With-
With his
yes.
other girlfriend, right, and her kids staying with his mother house.
With no, we are not in my mother's
His cousin's house.
No,
it's
we're
not
in
his.
my cousin's house.
It's not his.
And you stay with
It's
us
not
numerous
his.
3 DNA moments, 3 grown-ups, and 3 kids stuck in the middle. In this first case, Britney wants one thing, closure and a name on her birth certificate. But the man she calls dad keeps swinging between love and denial. Today's envelope ends the guessing game. Watch how everyone reacts when the truth lands, and it gets ugly fast.
In the case of Smith versus Lewis, when it comes to 25-year-old Britney Smith, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Lewis, you...
Britney says she's been denied her whole life, and the hurt is written all over her face. She's not asking for money, not asking for a speech, just the truth and a signature if it's real. But before we even get to DNA, listen to how Mr. Lewis describes the relationship. It's brutal, and it sets the tone for everything.
Can get closure because it's always going back and forth on why he's not my father. He didn't sign my birth certificate. When he wants something, I'm his daughter. When he don't get what he wants, I'm not his daughter. He just been a big absence in my life.
That hit and quit line isn't just rude, it's a dodge. He's trying to shrink the whole situation down to nothing, so denying paternity feels easier. But here's the problem. He admits he was involved when Britney was a newborn. Then the story gets even messier because he says he actually took the baby home. The judge catches that instantly.
Her mom, me and her, we got to dating. Wasn't no relationship going on. It was just a hit and quit thing. That's all it was.
But there's a whole bunch of people here in this world from a hit it and quick, because you can
True.
make a baby right quick.
Right quick, that's true.
So think about that. He's saying he raised her on and off for years, yet still calls her a stranger today. That inconsistency is the damage. However, instead of owning the confusion, he tries to pin paternity on somebody else. And he doesn't come in with dates or tests. He comes in with a picture and a claim. Watch this.
Like I said, she was 4 days old until Britney got about 10, 11, off and on because her mother would come get her.
So wait a minute. You're saying you took care of Britney for 10 years of her life on and off?
On and off.
He's basically saying, look at this man, that's her dad, like resemblance is science. But accusations don't answer Britney's question, and they don't erase how he treated her. Then 2 women step up and do what he won't. They talk about raising Britney and loving her anyway. Listen to how the sister describes the pain. It hits hard here.
Because that's for the simple fact, because I caught him and her mom having sex.
First of all, how do you know this man?
That is my great uncle. I pulled up in the yard, family house. The door was cracked, it was open. I walk in. The bed is sitting right there, right in front of the door. It's a small apartment.
That's the contrast. The women are offering family no matter what, while he keeps bargaining with doubt. Britney says she feels numb, and honestly, that makes sense. She's carried this question for 25 years. But then the results land, and instead of quiet empathy, Mr. Lewis immediately tries to score points. Listen to his first reaction. It says a lot.
I just want her to stop feeling like she alone, and she not alone. Like he put us through the same thing that you going through, he put us through the same thing. And it's sad because he's saying he's so much a real man, but how you such a real man, but look at you doing to your own kids. It hurts, so it hurt a lot.
When the test says he's not the father, Britney loses a lifelong assumption in one sentence, and Mr. Lewis tries to wear it like a trophy instead of checking on her. The judge shuts that down because he still helped build the doubt. Moving on. Story 2. A missed court date turns into child support and chaos real quick.
Mr. Lewis, you are not the father.
Oh, right. God. Tie down. That's her father right there. That's him right there.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Here, Bryant says he's been paying support without ever getting a DNA test. That's not a flex, that's a warning, because once the system labels you, it's hard to undo. But the other side says he dodged court too. So the question becomes, who avoided the truth and who got trapped by paperwork? Listen to how this started today.
I was in training for management and I didn't know that, like, you know what I'm saying, if I was to miss court, it was going to be this big of a situation.
Oh, yes.
Now I know.
So he missed court, got defaulted as the dad, and suddenly money is coming out of his pocket. That's the kind of mistake that follows you. But Jasmine's story isn't clean either, because there's an ex in the background and timelines get fuzzy. However, the moment she admits sending a letter, the judge's patience disappears. Watch this exchange closely.
Don't you have to get a DNA before you can be put on child support?
We went
You
together.
didn't show up to court twice.
It was once.
So hold on. You paying child support for this baby?
Yes. Thousands of dollars.
But you say you've never had a DNA test.
No.
This is where it turns into a soap opera. One boyfriend, then another, then a baby, then child support. And everybody is arguing about who was together when. But Bryant explains one detail that makes his reaction make sense. He says the ex reached out and called out the imbalance. Then the courtroom understands why he backed away. Listen now.
We weren't talking at the time that she got pregnant. Like, we weren't talking. But when after the fact that she got pregnant, she had hit me up and was like, hey, I'm pregnant and be prepared for child support
We were
and all this
definitely
other
together. We were
stuff.
definitely together.
No,
I called you after I got the text.
No, we weren't, because I found out that she had another boyfriend.
So while Bryant is the one paying, the ex is the one showing up. That's a recipe for resentment, and you can hear it. But the court isn't testing who showed up, it's testing biology. Then the judge reminds them, you can't wait to fix this, because the system cares about stability for Ava. Now, the envelope, right here now.
Okay, so see, this is what I need to know. Y'all done waited all this time to come in here and act like you can't say nothing.
He was in her life, like, he was there, like, holding her and, you know what I'm saying, having a relationship with her.
But you were the one on child support.
So the DNA says Bryant is Ava's father. Jasmine says she knew it, and Bryant sounds thankful, but excuses stop here. The judge wants one answer: why miss court and then vanish during the pregnancy and birth? But the bigger lesson is simple: court dates matter, and delays trap everybody. Next, a case where doubt comes from texts and mothers.
Mr. Portis, you are the father. You are Ava's father.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That is your beautiful little girl.
Appreciate it.
Now it's Jackson versus Brennan, and the judge opens with a real-life need. Makia has cerebral palsy, and mom says dad does 0. He says he has doubts and claims he even asked for a paternity test. But the mothers are loud, the history is messy, and the doubt is contagious. Let's rewind to how they describe the relationship.
Ms. Jackson, you and your mother opened your case because your childhood sweetheart has now become your adulthood nightmare. You say the defendant and his meddling mother are now denying your daughter Micaiah.
They both agree on one thing. In the beginning, he was there. Then it turns into blame. She says he stopped showing up, he says he got kicked out and couldn't see the baby. But doubt doesn't show up by magic. It gets planted, and in this case, it comes from a text thread, a photo labeled "The Real Daddy."
Yes, I was always there, and I actually got kicked out of their house. That's why I wasn't there, and they don't let me see her. I've asked for a paternity test before. Oh my God. I've even got messages of that, but it's okay.
Crazy.
Now we've got texts, accusations, and everybody choosing a team. His mom says a friend called and claimed Haley told him he was the father. Haley says that's false. Johnny says the other man was involved before, during, and after their relationship. But none of that is DNA. The thing that settles it is the test. Here we go.
Why wasn't he allowed to sign or be on the birth certificate?
He did, Your Honor.
I had the whole packet, and he had permission to sign anything because I was under the influence of the drugs at the time.
No.
All right, and
So I never seen it. I still ain't seen the birth certificate.
Well, that brings us to the end. Britney learned Mr. Lewis is not her father, and the judge shut down the victory lap. Ava's test said Mr. Portis is her father, drama and all. Makia's test confirmed Mr. Brennan is her father, despite the texts and noise. Like, subscribe, and comment what hit you hardest. One judge reminder too.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Brennan, you are the father.
Thank God. And I thought that, but when your friend comes to you and tells you...
She's already trying to save face, and we haven't even rewound the tape. 3 paternity court stories today. One man signs a birth certificate, then panics when doubt creeps in. One adult son has lived with maybe for decades, and one grandmother stakes her heart on a grandparent test. No extra context, just what's said and what DNA proves today.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. Ms. Robinson, I know this is a lot for you. If you need to sit down, it's up to you. I know out of everyone here, this matters a lot to you. In the case of Humphrey versus Mosley.
Here's the problem. He's acting like confusion started yesterday, but he signed paperwork and walked out like the hero. She admits she denied the pregnancy early, and he uses that as a permanent excuse. But the judge isn't buying vibes and symptoms. She goes straight to the rules around signing, rescinding, and what doubt should have looked like back then.
His children. Mr. Mosley, you say she's going after the wrong man, and that she should be pointing her paternity finger at her ex-boyfriend, Mr. Cook, because he's the baby's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say this paternity claim by Ms. Humphreys has put your current relationship and your whole family in jeopardy.
That pamphlet is the adult version of read before you click accept. He says he was trying to be a good guy, but the judge points out there's no prize for signing in the hospital and going ghost afterward. And once voices rise, the court gets proactive. Someone is asked to stand between them. Listen for the moment before results.
Part of the protocol for you to have a child.
No, it wasn't. At the same time, well, all I can say is this. I feel like it's her fault too, Your Honor. She should never broke up with me. She should never broke up with me. If she never broke up with me, I would never did what I did.
That's the whiplash. He's relieved, she's scrambling, and the judge reminds them the signature on a birth certificate can still matter. The test answers biology, but it doesn't automatically erase responsibility because he signed. And if you think this case was messy, wait until you hear a man claim he's been shooting blanks for decades on the record. Next.
I just had Tyler the weekend before we got here, y'all.
Because I had to threaten you.
You don't even know if I'm his daddy for real.
It don't.
That he's the daddy.
Yes,
and now you gonna put all the responsibility on me?
Yes.
What you mean?
Because
I come out of my pocket, spend my money for you and Tyler.
Because I threatened
what you. Mean?
Everything you did, Nate, I had to threaten you to do it. No.
Did you catch that? Shooting blanks since 1986 is a huge claim, and he's using it like a shield. But the court isn't grading confidence, they're grading truth. This is Johnson versus Milford, and the person caught in the middle is a 26-year-old who's been told yes, no, and maybe. Listen to how this story even starts in court.
Ms. Johnson, you claim the defendant who has a child with your first cousin is your son, Kiaris's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right away, it's not even a disagreement. It's a different reality. She says he did nothing, didn't show up, didn't provide. He says she never told him she was pregnant and claims she called it a tumor. Meanwhile, the judge is trying to keep the facts straight because there's an actual person standing there who's lived this confusion. Hear him.
What has Mr. Milford done for your son?
He's done nothing for my son, Your Honor. He didn't come to the hospital.
Nothing?
Nothing at all.
Explain.
He never came to the hospital when my son was born.
He says it plainly. He didn't ask to be born into a guessing game. While the adults trade accusations, he's the one carrying the fallout, hurt, instability, and years of mixed messages. And that's why the judge keeps pulling them back to one point. Today can finally end the confusion, even if it can't undo the past. Results are coming.
You've been hearing this all your life. This has been the confusion you've lived in for 26 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you told that this man was your father?
At one point I was, but then I was told he wasn't.
You were?
Yes.
And just like that, the DNA cuts through all the talking. He's not the father. You hear the son say, "Thank you," but it's not a celebration. It's closure mixed with grief. The judge apologizes because truth can still hurt. And now, the twist. Our final case isn't even about the alleged father showing up. It's about grandparents.
In the case of Johnson versus Milford, when it comes to 26-year-old Kiaris Johnson, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Milford, you are not his father.
Thank you.
Moving on. This one flips the script. The alleged father isn't even here. His mother says he's incarcerated. So the court uses a grandparentage test to get answers anyway. That's a fancy way of saying we're testing whether the grandparents are biologically connected to the baby. And when adults start treating traits like proof, the judge has to ground it in science.
Ms. Brogdon?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you're in court saying that just Tyrell is your daughter's father.
Yes.
If you slept with the other brother too,
Yes.
could he potentially be the child's father too?
You can hear the stakes. This isn't just a test, it's a family bond on the line. The grandmother says she loves the baby and shows a letter from her son asking for answers while incarcerated. But the mother admits another man was around conception, and now everyone's trying to see paternity and traits. That's where it gets messy.
Going to be there for Messiah, and that's a beautiful thing. And it's not going to be an easy road, but you can do it. Ms. Brogdon, you are in court to prove to Ms. Jones and her daughter that her deceased son Tyrell Jones fathered your 1-year-old daughter.
Notice how people turn a baby into a checklist. Extra digit, dimples, a lazy eye, height, anything to make uncertainty feel certain. But even the grandmother pushes back, saying she's a nurse and it doesn't work the way they're claiming. And once that doubt hits, the judge moves it to the only thing that can settle it, the test result.
Dating this guy, and then you sleep with his brother.
Because you're mad. Because you're
Just
mad.
for the anger?
Yes.
And so you did it to get back at him?
I've been through a whole lot with Tyrell out of the 3 years. It was not just him lying and staying the night out. No, it's more than that.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's DNA chaos. One signature couldn't outtalk biology. One grown son finally got an answer after years of maybe. And one grandmother learned a grandparent test can break hearts. If you want more courtroom moments like this, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which excuse sounded the wildest.
That's not your brother.
And so what you're saying, Ms. Chambers, is you personally witnessed her hold the baby.
Yes.
And express a love and affection towards the baby as her brother's child. That's
Yes.
what you say.
The judge just said the quiet part out loud. Everybody's lying. And this case earns that line fast. One woman is in court to prove who fathered her baby, while the man swears it's the other guy. But both women are still orbiting him, like this is normal. Listen carefully. People confess the mess themselves, right here on the record.
What you want us to lie?
Let me tell you something. You all know you all lying. Both of you can't even keep a straight face.
It's so obvious.
If they ain't having sex, why she calling them baby daddy on Facebook? Y'all liars. Y'all perfect.
Mr. Mosley says the test decides whether his girlfriend stays. That's wild, because the clip also shows he was sleeping with the plaintiff at the same time. So this isn't who's responsible, it's who's convenient. And once the judge starts asking about the conception window, you can feel him trying to talk his way out of facts. Keep watching.
Was it during the window of conception when Tyler was conceived?
No.
It was not, in your estimation.
No, Your Honor.
Is that true, Ms. Humphries?
No, Your Honor, it was. Because at the time when I got conceived, we were sexual. That was like the end of August, beginning of September.
Were you having sex with anyone else during that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were?
Now the plaintiff admits she slept with another man, and it wasn't protected. That one answer blows up every I know for sure speech that comes later, because biology doesn't care who texted last or who's mad today. And the judge doesn't let anyone hide behind vibes. She keeps dragging it back to dates, timing, and honesty. Good luck, though.
Was that sex also unprotected?
Yes, Your Honor.
It was. So why are you so certain Mr. Mosley is your child's father?
Because like I say, we were sexual. I found out what day I conceived, and that was like the end of August, the beginning of September.
But then they say the part you usually only hear off mic. They're still sleeping together. While he's claiming family and she's claiming truth, they're keeping the exact behavior that created the confusion. The judge basically tells them, stop acting shocked, this is what you chose. And with that confession sitting in the air, the only thing left is the envelope.
Oh, you still having sex with Mr. Mosley now?
Yes.
But Mr. Mosley, I can see by the look on your face that she's telling the truth.
She telling the truth.
So you still have sex with Miss Humphries?
I have, yeah.
Results land, and the court names a different man as the biological father. That's what happens when everybody treats paternity like a debate instead of a timeline. Mr. Mosley feels relieved, but look at the damage. Girlfriends dragged in, receipts flying, and a child caught in chaos. And the next case? The mother calls the result fake. Moving on.
It has been determined by this court. His biological father is Mr. Cook.
Good.
Congratulations, Mr. Cook.
That reaction tells you everything. The results hit, and somebody rejects reality. In this case, Mr. Butterfield says his ex hid a pregnancy and shut him out. She says he's only here to break up the family she has with her fiancé. So the courtroom turns into a timeline war. Dates, quickies, and a calendar like it's evidence in court.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Butterfield versus Bracknell, Dallas, pertaining to 2-month-old Cara Dallas.
Butterfield's whole story is built on one line: "Thank you for the gift." He hears that and later connects it to a baby he says he never knew existed. And when he talks about missing the birth, it's not subtle. He's angry, embarrassed, and ready to blame her for everything. But the defense doesn't argue feelings, they argue dates instead.
Mr. Butterfield, you've summoned your ex-girlfriend, Ms. Bracknell, to paternity court to prove that you are the father of her 2-month-old daughter, Cara. You say she's denying you are Cara's dad because she's worried her family will be torn apart when the results prove you are the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Here's the problem with calendars. They only work if everyone's honest. Mr. Dallas lays out a neat timeline, counting backward like it's math. Butterfield blows it up with a specific claim. Sex continued into October, even naming a last date. That's either a real memory or a convenient lie, and the judge knows the envelope will settle it for good.
There's no way Mr. Butterfield is Cara's biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Butterfield, you look at this calendar. Is this accurate? Is this when the relationship ended and when she went back to Mr. Dallas?
No, Your Honor, it's not.
It's not.
The judge reads the results, and confidence turns into panic. Butterfield celebrates, Bracknell calls it fake, and Mr. Dallas tries to stay calm. But this is why denial is dangerous, because a child needs a plan after the shouting stops. Now we switch to a different kind of pressure, a family grieving a son while debating his baby today.
And whether Mr. Dallas or Mr. Butterfield is the biological father, it has been determined by this court. Cara's biological father is Mr. Butterfield.
Served.
You ain't getting her.
What?
You're not getting her watch.
When a case starts with "she slept with 2 brothers," you know trust is gone. But this one has higher stakes. The alleged father is deceased, and his family is trying to heal. The mother says her daughter deserves that side of the family. The sister says the accusation is tearing them apart. So the court goes to DNA.
First of all, slept with 2 of my brothers. So that's what left me like, I can't trust anything she says, honestly. I mean,
she slept with
2 of my brothers.
2 of them?
2 of my brothers.
And that's true, Ms. Brogdon?
Yes, Your Honor.
You hear her listed out. No support from the father's side, barely seeing them, and she's struggling with multiple kids. That's the emotional fuel behind her demand. Step up. But the defense isn't arguing whether the baby needs help. They're arguing whether she's even related to them. And once the 2 brothers' detail is confirmed, the room gets colder.
My baby's 1, she only saw their side like 4 times. She only see them when it's time for gatherings and stuff about Tyrell. It's hard. My baby had a seizure. She been sick. I've been going through everything with her. I have 5 kids.
Her explanation is simple. She was mad at Tyrell, so she slept with his brother. The judge isn't shocked by the drama. She's shocked by the logic, because one angry night can create a lifetime question, and now 2 families are paying for it. And listen, the testimony starts shifting from "it can't be him" to "either way, it's family."
It was one night, Tyrell lied and said he was at the police district. I went to the police district to check to see if he was there. He wasn't there. I went to his grandmother's house where he said he was there. He was not there, and I waited for him.
That's the part people miss. This isn't just messy dating. The sister says it caused fights, guilt, and stress while they're grieving. And the judge notices the contradictions immediately. One minute it's only one time. The next minute it's either brother. So now the courtroom stops arguing hypotheticals and waits for a lab to answer the only question that matters.
So, Ms. Sugden, do you think it's a possibility that your other brother could be this child's father?
I think there's a possibility. Yes, I got that news. So yes, now I think there's a possibility. Yes. This is what she did to us. She slept with 2 brothers and we hate her because of that. She slept with 2 of my brothers and tore our family apart. She had my brothers fighting out there.
Well, that brings us to the end. 3 cases, 3 timelines, and the same lesson. Talk doesn't beat DNA. One man gets ruled out, another gets confirmed, and a grieving family finally gets clarity. If you want more courtroom chaos with receipts and reality checks, hit like, subscribe, and comment which moment shocked you most. I'll see you next upload.
It has been determined by this court. Miss Christina Jones is related to Quamira Jones.